The Diamond One is down near the fence on the inside. She needs a bit of help, Stevie boy. She's in a bad spot on the inner. Taking off around those Ridley on the outside. Lockett starting a run from the back. Homeward bound is She Mine the outside. Ricochet the inside. Sookray and Chapel Star. Across heels comes the Diamond One trying to work into the clear. Sookray has the lead. Chapel Star. The Diamond One is coming after those on the outside. Chapel Star. The Diamond One with an angel on every shoulder down towards the line. The Diamond One gets there. It's a great go for the minor money, but who cares? And Rory Hutchings was a genius, but he had help, I'm sure of it. I said she needed help, Stevie, and poof, you did it. The jockey has done a marvellous job here, Rory Hutchings, but poof, he might have had a bit of help.
Well, thanks, Steve. This is for you. When we raced on Boxing Day, Steve said to us, I think we should go for the white robe. And our answer was, do you think you can get it ready without a race? Because we don't need any points. He said, I can do it.
The transferred White Robe Lodge handicap won on Friday by the Diamond One, prepared by the late Steve Anderton and his wife Claire, and not a dry eye in the house. The successful rider that day was Rory Hutchings. He's with us, and Rory, gun ride and a perfect result. Good evening.
Yeah, thanks, DA. A very emotional day, like you said, and for the Diamond One to pull it off, yeah, it was a fitting result for a tragic time.
Yeah, we saw from the vision there you were 3 or 4 back the fence. Was she travelling for you?
She was. We had a bad barrier draw to contest with. They didn't want me to lead on her, so I just kept coming back until I got cover across the top. Nothing really went forward in front of me, so I knew I had the horse underneath me. I switched to the inside, and she travelled through the bad part of the ground, and once she got out, she really flew.
Yeah, when she saw daylight here, she really let down, didn't she?
She did. Her turn of foot was great, and look, I think she's a very progressive mare, and all accounts she's going to come up here for some big races, and I think she's up to the class.
It was a super training effort, as we just seen in the overlay there. That getting to be able to get the horse ready with no race because I didn't want any points, and to get there and have her in a condition like that, it's just phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. She was spot on. I don't even think she really blew after the race either, you know, so great effort from the Anderton family, and yeah, great result.
You got one earlier in the day for them too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. That horse won well. It had to really find some, and once we got up to the top of the hill, when he really dug in, he got the job done. Have
you ridden at Wingatui before?
I had one day down there a couple of years ago, and wasn't able to ride a winner, but yeah, we made up for it the other day.
The Bishop won pretty well for the Dennis brothers as well in those colours, didn't it?
Yeah, he did. He's a big, long, striding horse, and he might pick up one of those cup races down there later on.
He was pretty strong to the line.
He was. He's still raw and a little bit green, but he got the job done, and yeah, he was strong to the line.
His ears pricked there, short of the line. He's having a good look around, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did, and he had a good whip round pulling up and everything. I was lucky to stay on him.
He might need a set of blinkers.
I think so.
How was the track? Obviously, that meeting was transferred from the Saturday before. It looked to get through with no issues?
Yeah, going down to the start in the first, it felt like it was still quite firm underfoot. I thought we might have a little bit of trouble, but it started opening up throughout the day, and no issues unfolded.
Let's talk about Soriano. How good on Saturday?
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? She just keeps getting better with racing. She showed us she's one of the best weight for age horses in the country, and
probably the best at the moment.
At the moment, I think, yeah. It's just a great ride with her.
What was you didn't go around a horse, Rory on Soriano. You didn't go around a horse on Stella's Honour either. Was that your plan, or was it just the way the race mapped out for you? Or did you think there was a fast lane on the fence?
On Soriano, it just unfolded in front of me.
Yep.
Stella's on, and the instructions were to ride the fence. And
Right.
I was lucky to get through on her, but
Make
like
it look good.
yeah, I don't know about me, but the horses won all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way it panned out, fast drag, and he didn't really make the bend 100%. I didn't think I'd be able to get out with Surpass just outside me, and I didn't want to bustle her and knock one down, so I just sat and waited, and he got through late.
She's taken it to a new level. Look, she very nearly won a Group 1 at a mile at her last start, and the start before she'd won a Group 1 at 2,000. She's now won another Group 1 at 2,000 metres. She that versatile?
Yeah, she is. Like narrowly going down in a mile, coming back from a 2,000 metre race was super, and look, she can go back again and probably race in a mile and be very competitive. She's probably good enough to win one of those mile races as well. So.
Yeah, well, there's got to be something said with the training feet there, isn't it? Coming back from 2,000 metres to a mile. I mean, we spoke to Roger earlier. I'm surprised he didn't bring it up himself, actually.
But it's the old adage, isn't it? When those mares are absolutely in the zone and flying, Graham mentioned it, that her work's gone to a new level. You know, she's working like a different horse. When those mares are in form like that, they just keep performing, don't they?
They hold it for a long time, don't they? Yeah, they do. They race when they're in the purple patch of form, like you say. They hold it for a long time, and you just keep sending them round because they want to win. Yeah.
Special for you on Saturday with Denise being there. You made big mention of it out of Ellerslie, and for her to be there must have been really cool.
Yeah, it was. I think it's the first time she's watched Soriano win. In between races, I actually went home and had a sweat, and I saw Denise there, and I said, "Are you going down?" She said to me she was, and I said, "Why not?" You know,
Yeah.
It's a perfect day for it, and no, it was great and a special moment to see her coming back to scale.
Yeah.
And Roger outlined earlier on the plans for her. Obviously, Otaki, Ellerslie, Sydney, Hong Kong, Singapore. Exciting times because you get to go.
Yeah, it is exciting. Look, big races internationally, it's going to be tough, but it's going to be a great experience. And look, if she wins at Otaki or that race at Ellerslie, we might have a few more countries to go to.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be busy because you got the strapper's job. You got a few jobs on the way through as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I can be my own boss too, and we can just start whenever we want.
I don't think so, somehow.
I heard you do anyway.
He'll have you riding with Tony Cruz, a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
It'll be a great experience for her. That's what every jockey strives for, isn't it? To ride internationally, and especially places like Hong Kong. It's the ultimate.
Yeah, it is really. Look, even to just go up there and have a look would be great, but riding a horse in a Group 1 race in Hong Kong, Singapore, it's just what you dream of, really.
You've had that little bit of experience in Sydney as well, which will really stand to you when you go back on the first part of your adventure. Having ridden those tracks and against those riders, that's going to help, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I've been around Randwick a few times, had a few race rides around there, so it's not like I'm going there not knowing the tracks and not knowing how the races are running that, so that's going to be a help.
And there's no tougher arena in the world at the moment, I believe, than the Sydney arena for jockeys. Their jockeys' room's outstanding, isn't it?
Yeah, it is for sure. I rate them as one of the best riders in the world. You see the amount that are getting Hong Kong contracts and that, it just shows the class and the calibre of rider up there.
For sure, for sure.
Just want to touch on a couple of races from Wingatui before we move on. The listed Dunedin Guineas, Matthew and Michael Pittman, the successful trainers here with another cope who got home butch in the hands of Lisa Allpress.
Yeah, she did. Look, she's a filly that's heading towards the Oaks as well. She's come from a fair way back here, as we see there in the Copeland colours that we know so well. Lisa Allpress, she's certainly added to the riders' ranks back from her international stint in Singapore and keeping a hand in before she goes internationally to Japan. So she's back with the Pittmans here and ridden a lot of winners for them. I thought it was a good win.
Yeah, I thought it was a good win. Come with one sustained run down the outside, obviously. Had all the momentum and was sort of running away from them at the line too. Second horse was strong also. I thought they were probably the two to take out of the race.
Okay. The other listed race down there on Friday was the listed Dunedin Gold Cup, which was taken out by Sure As You Were Born. This one prepared by Nicky and Barry Blatch and ridden by Robbie the Pope Hannam. Butch.
Yeah, great, the Pope. Look, it'd be great if some of the staying races up here had a Puddle Alley in them to get some speed into the race. Oh, Puddle Alley just went hammer and tongs in front, and they've been able to come from off the speed a little bit. Robbie, yeah, great to see him dig it out. You thought the My Chino, is it, in the Parsons colours on the inside was going to flash, but sure as you were born, found a kick.
Yeah, and my chin only just held on for a second
Yeah.
too. The outside horse nearly grabbed it,
Yeah.
just stopped
Yeah.
pretty quick, didn't it? But yeah, like you say, it's good to see a genuine run race where every horse gets a chance instead of just front markers controlling the tempo and getting away with victories. No, it was good.
A lot of our staying races, Rory, are run pedestrian, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Look, it's probably really no need for it, you know. It's nothing worse than being back in a field over ground and they're just walking.
But even some of our sprint races, like the railway, they walked, didn't they, when you were back on?
Yeah.
For some, I don't know why. Oh, Leith, he led that, I think.
Got the prize.
Yeah.
Look, let's head back to Tauranga on Thursday. There were three 3-year-old fillies who were making their claims on getting a little bit closer to the Oaks, and the first one we're going to have a look at here is Chenille. We've got Sapphire and Jin Swing off tape as well. Rory, you rode this one. She was pretty good.
Yeah, she was. She's been promising to do something like that for a while, and she just has done a couple of things wrong. Put the hood on that day, and she was very impressive.
And Craig Rule's saving ground up the fence here on Sapphire, and the O'Sullivan Scott colours, and really was producing a strong gallop right to the line here. And the other one we'll have a look at is Jin Swing, who was probably a touch unlucky last time out, and it's found the line extremely well here too, Butch.
Yeah, she did, and a big gap back to the third one, which is always a good sign. Second horse went well on debut and went well again here. You just got the impression she had it sewn up a wee way from home, but took a little while to clear the second horse. Yeah, all three of them very progressive, and you know, whether they quite there for our Oaks, or I'm picking that Brisbane might be on the dance card for a couple of them as well.
Yeah, Jin Swing and Chenille are both going to the 3-year-old fillies race at Taranaki, I believe. And Chenille is, and Jin Swing goes to the Lowland, is that right?
Yeah, I think you'll split them up, Pikey.
Yeah,
something
I
will
think
go to
goes
the
Lowland with a view to
Sunline.
the Oaks.
Yeah.
Okay, if I gave you $10, Twiggy, Chenille, Sapphire or Jin Swing for the Oaks, New Zealand Oaks?
Jin Swing.
Chenille,
all right. Steve Hunt's got an update of the Oaks market now. Steve, how did they change in terms of price with regards to their efforts last week?
Yeah, well, nice performances there in the last 4 or 5 days locally. Yeah, another Cope at $41, which we saw the first footage of winning. So she's a progressive type, might be heading towards Trempfim for the Pitman stable. Jin Swing, which you won't see on that page, at a $41 price. So I'm sure Twiggy likes that quote currently, compared to Chanel, which is, you see there, number 19 in the book, at a $14 price, and Sapphire at an $18 quote there. For another good performance during that Gate Par meeting on Thursday. Vavasaur, new favourite now on the back of that win in the Sir Tristram. We just have to be a little bit cautious in the next few weeks on the back of Vavasaur might bypass the Oaks and be lined up for the Derby. Savoy at that $5 price. She clearly looks to be the best filly at a 2,000 metre trip at this stage from what I've seen. Chamont, rock solid at that $10 quote after finishing third and giving them a good old chase at Te Rapa on Saturday. And Platinum Witness was a touch disappointing, I thought, on the eye. 2,400 metres might be a bit of a concern for that particular filly. She was 12. She was currently our favourite this time last week, and she's now drifted to that $10 price. But again, that market's starting to shape up. We just have to be a little bit cautious here in Petone with Vavasaur.
All right, good as gold, Steve. Thank you. We'll catch you next week. Mary Quant, we saw at the bottom of that page there, 41 into 26, finally getting the maiden win yesterday at Matamata. And yeah, Vavasaur, $4 if she's obviously going to Australia.
Yeah, look, I suppose they'll keep her in the Oaks as a backstop. Something can go wrong. They mightn't get to the Derby, and the Oaks is always there. They'd be, crazy to take her out at this stage. So you've got to assess it as though she's in the market. But Savaria, there's one in there at $12, 61 into 12 from the Royden Bergerson stable. She's a daughter of Savabeel. She's a very good filly.
Yeah, she's going around in that 3-year-old fillies race at Taranaki this weekend. Okay, so what have the boys learnt this week, Butch?
Professionalism shines through with Dave McDonald on Friday. A very, very difficult day for all concerned. And look, Dave's been calling down there for 30-odd plus years. He will have known the family and known Steve well. And when we saw that call, it just shows his professionalism. Some of the bits in there in the call, you know, she needs a bit of help, Stevie boy, an angel on every shoulder, and then the little bit at the end, great go for the minor money, but who cares? He managed to get those out. You can't rehearse those. They're things that come to you instinctively, and I thought it was amazing that he was able to put that into the calls. You know, just the way that he handled it. And I'd also, as part of that, take my hat off to NZTR. We're quick to pull them up on occasions, but for them to get that licence through, that it was in Steve and Claire's name, those horses on Friday, I thought was absolutely fantastic.
Sure was, and I know Aidan, your manager, you know, it really hit him. He was working in the studio at the time, and it was pretty tough for him to sort of pick up and try and get to Mark McNamara, so credit to him as well. What have you learnt, Twiggy?
Tell you, Dio, I've learnt this week, the gentleman sitting next to me, Rory Hutchings, I think he's ready to go to the next level. I think he showed great maturity with his rides on both the Diamond One, Soriano and Stella's Honour for that matter. I thought that, you know, he's done a stint in Australia now, and Roger's taken him along patiently, and he's now ready to take the next level, which is on the international stage.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Rory. Congratulations once again on the success, particularly at the Group 1 level on Saturday. And we'll be watching the trip around the world with a lot of interest.
Yeah, thanks, Dia. It's great being back on.
Great to have you with us. Rory Hutchings here on Weigh In. We're back with more shortly. And as we head to the break, Irish Encore winning the feature at Awapuni on Saturday.
And it's Snowline leading here by just on a length over Surreal Storm. Vincent Street, Irish Encore now asked the question. Touche and Wild Rock down the outside. Irish Encore, she strode up very quickly now and stylishly at the 200. Out and after it now is Wild Rock and Touche. Surreal Storm, Irish Encore, she's well and truly in command. And she's going to win the Carter's Ashurst for Hongana Cup by 2 1/4.
My Platinum Home is paradise.
My Platinum Home is a 5-star restaurant. Cheers, fellas.
My Platinum Home is a football pitch. Oops.
My Platinum Home is my kind of style.
Our Platinum Home is a movie theatre. Past the Jaffers.
Our Platinum Home is a castle.
Platinum Homes. Everything Kiwis call home.
We were just a young couple, and we'd never seen anything so...
Totally awesome! It was like I could see all the way
to those summers. We would just do absolutely nothing. Just find a little place with...
So much to do, and so many kids. And
so many memories, every single time.
Cruising on the Inter-Islander, sailing to the other side.
Aragonesa threatening on the outside and Mr. Milton on the rails. They're fighting it out. 50 to go. Aragonesa after Jackanow Bay. Jackanow Bay, Aragonesa. Bobbing go that one. It's still Himalaya Dream. And on the outside, Swift Shadow. They've come clear now. Himalaya Dream and Swift Shadow with about 150 to go. They've been hammering at one another all the way. Himalaya Dream kicking. Swift Shadow dive. They hit the line. Bobbing go. Bobbing go there between Swift Shadow, Himalaya Dream. Nothing between them.
Another good weekend for expat Kiwi rider Michael Walker. Of course, most of his success in the last 6 months has been aligned with the David Hayes, Tom Dabenig team there in Melbourne. And I know, Butch, you ran into David Hayes at the sales and he's got big raps.
Yeah, caught up with David at the sales and spoke about Michael. We had a good chat. He said, look, Michael likes hard work. He just didn't know it when he got to me. And the other thing that he said was he said when he first got there, sort of 20% of his owners were happy to have Michael on. Now it's sort of 80 and 90%. And he said by the end of the season, he's pretty much going to have call on his rides. And he said, look, if he doesn't win the Premiership this year, he will next year. So with all of those things in mind, yeah, he's flying.
I think it shows that it doesn't matter how much ability you've got. You can be at the top of your game, but if you're not applying yourself to the trade, then you're a lost cause.
Great comment, wasn't it?
But obviously, yeah, but obviously, Michael's putting in 110%.
He likes hard work.
He's reaping the rewards now. Yeah.
All right, in news this week, two things that we wanted to touch on. Twiggy, the starting gates, first of all, at Matamata, delay in getting there, and then when they got there, they didn't work.
Yeah, well, it's just a disaster, isn't it? I always seem to be the one that's having a whinge and carry on, but look, I mean, on the positive note, I guess we've got new gates. They've been ordered, and they are arriving. Butch, mid-March, mid to late March, is that correct?
March was the comment today from NZTR,
yes.
apparently.
So until then, unfortunately, we're just going to have to soak it up because, you know, they can't just fall out of the sky, but they are coming, people. They're coming. And
cross your fingers.
That's it. Good luck.
All right. And the other main news story of the week, trainer Brett McDonald has been charged with administering Butte to 4 horses at the Ruakaka trials, Butch.
Yeah, and of course the unfortunate thing about that was one of them was the horse that Christelle had his horrific accident on, and look, was airlifted to hospital. So yeah, that's not good news. I suppose the positive, for want of a better term, out of it is that that we're starting to see some work at the trials again for horses to be tested, because we just can't place our riders at risk like that, and let's hope that that anyone that was looking to go down that path is thinking very seriously about it now, with the fact that they are testing again.
Yeah. Just to explain to the viewers that don't know, the Butte is an anti-inflammatory that you give to horses post-race generally to help them recover from a race. It has a 9 to 10 day withholding period, and obviously if you administer the Butacil before a race or a trial, barrier trial for that matter, the horse goes into the race pain-free, therefore can put themselves under a bit of pressure that they probably wouldn't when they do feel the pain, and therefore accidents can happen.
And just touching on Christelle too, good news that he's making virtually a full recovery, which is outstanding. He's
made an amazing recovery. We saw him at Ellerslie on the 10th of January, had a chat with him. He was saddling horses that day for his dad. Look, he's defied reading the paper. He's defied what the medical people told him he'd be doing. I think he's got a 6-month mandatory stand down from riding, but he is an extremely lucky young man.
Is he keen to get back in the saddle?
I'm not sure. I haven't had that discussion with him. He was happy to be around the horses at the races, so you would think so. Yeah, I read in the Franklin News actually that he had some goals he wanted to achieve. I think maybe he's close to 100 winners, and that was something that he really wanted to knock off. So yeah, lucky young man.
Not many of us rode 100 winners, Andrew. Not many of us rode 100.
No. All right, this week's Butcher's Hook before we go. Butch.
Looking at deferred jockey suspensions, we started off with Danielle Johnson, who had her charge deferred from a day at Ellerslie, then it was downgraded. Lee Megorian had a couple deferred from Wellington Cup Day, and then Rory Hutchings Friday a week ago had a charge for careless riding deferred, the hearing deferred from New Plymouth. So spoke to Ross Neal today. Certainly something that he's looking to address is that when they do get deferred, and in Rory's case, the horses were on the truck, he had to get home, and you can understand that, but it needs to be heard quickly afterwards for a level playing field, so everyone knows where they stand. If they are charged on the day and it's a careless riding charge, that it's either heard or heard the very next day that they're riding, I think would make sense. And talking to the co-chief stipendiary steward Ross Neal, it's certainly something that he's onto and looking to address.
All right, no doubt you'll have an opinion on this and, well, other things that you've seen and heard throughout the show, and you can contact us via social media. We're on facebook.com/WeighInShow, at WeighInShow on Twitter, and also on email, weighin@nzracingboard.co.nz. That's us. All right, Twig. News is the starting gates, the new starting gates are coming.
They're coming.
All right. Thanks to you. We'll see you next week. Thanks to Graham Rogerson, Lee Thinnis and Rory Hutchings as well. Good night.